asifiwe. God is good all the time. It's a pleasure again to meet this wonderful morning. As we wait for the VC, I just want us to do a small exercise. I know some of us don't even know our next neighbor. We are coming to the end of the conference today, but I'm sure some of you don't know whom you're seated next to. You might be seated to a key to your next level. You might be seated next to a destiny helper. Some of the problems that are disturbing you might be with the next neighbor that you are with. Kindly, let's stand up and just say hello to your neighbor. Get to know what is the name of your neighbor. What do they do exactly? If possible, get their number, you know? Their number, talk to each other, work networks. Let them know that you appreciate them. Let them know that they are special. Get to know where they come from. What do they do on a daily basis? How do they handle their days experiences? Get to know what they do. Get to know who they are. Okay? Asante sana. So the next speaker, we are sorry, sir, we almost ambushed you before settling down. Mr. John Mwangi is going to speak to us about personal branding. How do you brand yourself as a head teacher? How do you make yourself useful, meaningful? How do you bring out yourself? Because people buy you before they buy in your idea. So this is the best speaker to speak to us about that. Karibu sana, sir. You're much welcome.
I want to thank the CEO and the executive for inviting me to come and have this talk with you. Joe Mwangi is a motivational speaker. A few days ago, I got a chance to speak in a school called St. Joseph's Kitale, and I was talking to a group of head of departments from sciences, people who had science subjects in secondary schools. I want to say that as I went to talk to them, because when I was called upon to speak, they did not know that the speaker who had come to talk to them was a motivational speaker. You could almost read their content, because when in Kenya you say you are a motivational speaker, one, people have got a lot of ideas about what motivation is. And motivational speakers, a lot of the times, thank you so much. So I tried to just like clear the air about motivation. And I told them that in an issue as serious as science, and science is about facts, motivation may not have a place in science. There's a guy called Professor Taban Loli Ong. He is a Sudanese, and he was saying that motivation books do not have a place in literature. And so many things have been said. I do not know what you say about motivation, but I would like to say this. I have lived long enough to prove that nobody ever achieved any success in life without motivation. Whether it was personal motivation from inside or from outside, everybody who achieves great success is because of motivation. Something is pushing you to move on. And so when I was invited, I was told that you will be speaking about a topic entitled, What Motivates You and Personal Branding. What motivates you and personal branding? And that's a very, very, very difficult topic. And do you know why I think it's difficult? I think it's difficult because while people want to know about what motivates them, People actually know better about what demotivates them. People know much more about what discourages them more than what encourages them. If today I would ask you about your problems, you would mention your problems faster than the things you are good at. If I told you, tell me what your school is good in and what your school is not very good in, you will be easier saying what you're not good at more than what you're good at. Because we are more negative inclined than positive. And so in this presentation about what motivates us, I would like us to think more about what demotivates us. What demotivates us? Look at your neighbor, please. Ask your neighbor, what demotivates you? What demotivates you? Some of the people who are here as principals of the schools, and others are directors also who also act as principals. Not all the days you have motivation. Some days you wake up, you look at that school, you feel like closing that school and go home. But you remember you will not close it because tomorrow children are coming and they are looking up to you. The teachers are looking for solutions from you. And then you don't have all the answers. And everybody who comes to your office, they are coming because they have a problem. And sometimes you do not have solutions to these problems. And so sometimes it's difficult to be motivated even when you want to be motivated. And that is why we have come for this conference. We have come to look for motivation. We have come to look for something to motivate us, something to push us, something to keep us going. And then personal branding. And I will talk also about personal branding because it is important. Very good. So welcome to the session. I hope that you're going to learn as much as you can. I was born and brought up in Kirinyaga County. I grew up in Kirinyaga. My parents were primary school teachers. My dad taught in the primary school, and my mom also taught in the primary school. Na huwa ninaambia watu, ukiwa na mzazi mwalimu ni vizuri, lakini wakiwa wawili ni kama kulelewa staff room. Life is very difficult because by nature teachers are perfectionists. By nature teachers are perfectionists. Mwalimu ni mtu anaweza kuambia amka ulale vizuri na umeshalala. Are we together? Teachers are obsessed with the things being perfect. When the teachers are marking, they are always looking for the wrong in the marking. And that is why teachers don't make good businessmen. Because in business, if you look for mistakes, you never begin business. Businessmen are people who begin a business and correct themselves on the way. But teachers want to correct you before. And that is why they don't make very good businessmen. So I have two of them as my parents. It was not easy. And my mom is very strict. And my father is her role model. You can imagine how then my childhood was very difficult. I must make it very difficult. You must see how difficult it was. That it was not easy. Unatoka shule, unawacha walimu. Unakuja nyumbani, unakuta wengine. Yani, hakuna space ya kupumua. You breathe during break time. Are we together? And I was able to pull through. So clap for me for being able to overcome those challenges. But I want to appreciate my mom and my dad for the job they did to make me who I am today. Watu wengi wanasema I am self-made, but I'm sorry, I'm not self-made. I was made. Please accept you are made. Someone made you, and that is why you are the way you are. So that is a brief of me. Good people, I want you to understand this very clear. When Professor was doing his presentation, Professor Kiplagat, he was doing his presentation from his laptop. The only thing that you were seeing on the screen up there was what was on his laptop. Now, let me tell you and understand this. With the personal branding, we are talking about creating a public perception about ourselves. It is not easy, my dear leaders, to create a public perception about ourselves apart from what is in us. If you are to portray anything that is public perception, mostly it shall be what is in you. And that is what we call a personal brand. You cannot be able to project what you don't have inside. For example, expecting you to be loved by a person who has got no love inside of them. And we say, hurting people hurt people. When we say hurting people hurt people, what are we saying? That when we are hurting from inside, we shall hurt other people outside. When we are not happy from inside, it is difficult for us to be able to portray happiness when we are not happy. Are we in agreement, people? Are we in agreement? That what is in us, in a very big way, has got a way of getting outside, and that is what people will say about us. And so today, this session is going to focus on personal branding as one of the things and one of the components in personal development and also personal growth. Because if you are going to become a great person, that when we look at you, we will say, this is a great person, this is a great headmaster, this is a great teacher, then the change must first happen inside of you. The change must have to happen in the inside of you, then we can be able to see it from the outside. Kama haitafanyika ndani, then as you project whatever you're projecting, we shall be able to see the mistakes in you and the challenges in you. So kwanza kama ndani iko sawa, nje itakuwa sawa. Watu wanasema mimi ni Mkikuyu, lakini mimi sidhani mimi ni Mkikuyu. Ni vile nilipozaliwa, wale walionizaa walianza kuniongelesha Kikuyu. Ndio sababu mimi ninaongea Kikuyu. Msinilaumu ati mimi ni Mkikuyu. Kama ningekuwa ninakaa na Wajaluo waniongeleshe Kijaluo, ningekiongea. Are we together? None of us is anything. You are neither Kikuyu, you are neither Luo, you are just have adopted what you are told. Unaongea vile uliongeleshwa. Now that's why the deaf do not speak. They have never heard. Are we together? You can only speak because you heard. Whatever comes into you, you then become that. And that is what you project. And that is why we say people become what they hear. When you go to the school of medicine, you will meet lecturers who are doctors. And they will talk to you, and talk to you, and talk to you. And what shall you become after 5 years? A doctor. What made you a doctor? Listening. If you go to the school of law, they will talk to you, and talk to you, and talk to you, talk to you. And then you shall be called a lawyer. How did you become a lawyer? By listening. How do you become a teacher? They don't beat you up to become teachers. They talk to you, and talk to you, and talk to you. And then they call you teachers. Look at your neighbor. What do you think your neighbor has become? And what do you think he has been listening to? Because whatever you become is what you have been listening to. And that is why personal branding is more of a personal job more than showing us the outside. It's more of the inside job. Personal branding is an inside job. Wakati mwingine nilikuwa naangalia TV na kuna benki ilikuwa imeibiwa. Benki ikaibiwa. Wakati benki iliibiwa, wale walikuwa wanafanya investigation walisema it was an inside job. It was an inside job. So personal branding is an inside job. It's a job you have to do yourself because nobody can brand you for you. Only you can brand yourself the way we will be calling you. When my mom gave birth to me, hakusema leo nimezaa motivational speaker, kujeni mumsalimie. Huyu ananyonya ni motivational speaker. Vile ananyonya motivationally. No, nilikuwa mtoto mimi. Now I was not born speaking, I was born crying. Let's agree. Speaking nimejua juu ya kusikiza. And that's why I'm speaking to you. If you're all from Germany and you don't know English, I would not have been able to present today. Unless I use an interpreter, because I'm using the language that you know, because this is what that was what was put in me. So whatever I am projecting is what is deposited in me. Whatever you're projecting is whatever is deposited in you. And that is where now we come to look at personal branding as a major component of personal development and growth. And there are 5 areas to observe. Number 1, social, spiritual, financial, physical, and emotional. Social, spiritual, financial, physical, and emotional. So there are 5 contemporary areas of personal branding. And those are the areas people see in us. People will see us in social life. How are we socially? They will say something about us. Atasema, hey, huyo jamaa anakuanga msocial. Huyo jamaa anakuanga hivi. This person is snobbish, anaignore watu, anakuanga mtu maringo, whatever they will say. That is the social part. Then spiritual. Hey, that guy has a relationship with God. That guy has no relationship with God. And so forth. And then they will say this. Hey, huyo jamaa anakuanga amesota all the time. Yani kusota 24/7. Hata mshahara ikipandwa leo, atakula yake na akukope yako. Are we together? Kuna mtu anajulikana hata kwa staff room yetu, akona madeni from here to South Africa. Amekopa Tara branch na zile zote hata zenye ziko karibu kukuja amesha apply. Yani this person always has a money problem. Na akijua uko na pesa, they develop a money problem immediately. When we are doing rewards in our school, na kuna mwalimu amekuwa number 1, anapatiwa pesa ya social, pesa ya hesabu, pesa ya nini, kuna mwenye anaifanyia budget. They develop a money problem immediately. That's brand, it's a part of the brand. It is how we know them. Na kuna mtu unajua akikopa haezi rudisha. Hata nyinyi mna marafiki mnajua ukiwaitisha pesa, you surrender the money because you know it will never come back. Unaipeananga rosa. You know them? Na kuna ule unajua ukimpea atarudi. It's a part of the brand. Na ndio watu wengi wana struggle na wana capital. Kwa sababu akikopeshwa hata wairudisha. Unaenda kwa bank, you take a loan, you start running. You take from your circle, you start running. You have become a financial Kipchoge. You are always on the run. You create a brand around yourself. Na kwa sababu ya CRB, wakiklik wanaona uliopa Rafiki Bank na hukulipa, unanyimwa hata Equity. Hiyo ni brand yako financial. Unaweza kuwa unaomba sana, unaomba even the heavens come down to watch your prayers. Even the angels benchmark with you. Yani angels wanna learn from you mambo ya kuomba. Ushuhuda yako imetoka hapa hadi na town ya Nakuru, ushuhuda peke yako. Lakini mambo ya pesa, hapo ndio wewe na ushuhuda unakuwa na shida. That's your plan. Umeamua kukua hivyo. And some of people who have a problem with that also see that they are always not having money. Even when they have money, they have a problem. Even when they have. You think about it. Then physical. Physical. This is the physical us. The seen part of us, which, like, how do we develop ourselves physically? And about eating, about how we live, about our organization. Kuna mtu mwalimu mmoja shuleni loka yake ni kama imelala, imepigwa na bomu, very disorganized. Hakuna vitu yake inakuwa karibu na ingine. The fellow is always looking chaotic. And some of us principals, tumewaita kwa ofisi hadi tumechoka. Jamaa akipatiwa mark pen za kuandika lazima zipotee immediately. Huyu unajua hizo zimeenda kupotea. Karibu afukiriwe kama mtoto. You know those fellas? They're in our schools. And then we have got emotional part of self or personal branding. There are those people who are constantly stressed. Mukikutana kona yoyote ya shule, anakuambia mimi niko na stress. Hata asubuhi niko na stress. Those people who have constant stress, na watu wamemuongelesha au wamechoka. I don't know who those are, but maybe you know them. Those are the 5 contemporary areas of personal branding. But I want us now to move away from the contemporary areas and go and observe the areas I have invented. Because when I went to the university, I was given power to lead, to write, to invent. So now I will teach mine. Those are the contemporary. And I will give you 4 of them. Number 1, leadership. Because nyinyi ndio ninaongelesha, siongelesha walimu wale wako shule. Leadership, it is one area I would discuss. Long time ago, long time ago, there was a science or an art called alchemy. In alchemy, it was believed that if you burn a metal and burn a metal for a long time, you keep melting the metal over a long period of time, it was believed that the metal you are melting had the power of shedding away all its impurities and become the most pure form of itself. That everybody in this meeting has got the opportunity to shed away all your impurities until you become the best version of yourself. That is what we are calling the personal brand. Removing all the things that are shortcomings in your life until you become such a wonderful human being. Even wherever you go, people will say, this is a wonderful human being. And that is where you begin to have presence because of the brand you have created as a teacher and as a principal, as a headmaster in that school. It's important to think about creating a brand around yourself. Katika mashuleni kwetu, kuna watu ambao wakisema nimeenda, unashindwa kwani alikuwa. Na akisema nimerudi, mnashindwa haukuwa. Kwa sababu huyu mtu awe asiwe, hakuna tofauti. And that is brand. It's what you have become. Somebody who has got no impact. It's important you begin to create impact around yourself wherever you are. And therefore that's one. In Laikipia, hapo upande wa Laikipia, kulikuwa na mzungu. Na yule mzungu alikuja akachukua shamba, several acres. Shamba la mawe. That shamba was full of stones. Shamba ilikuwa imejaa mawe. Lakini alipokuja mzungu yule, aliweka watu kazini, wakaondoa mawe for a whole like half an year. They were removing the stones. He started doing farming. Akaanza kulima matunda na akaanza kupeleka nje ya nchi, exporting the fruits. Wakati wale watu wanaishi pale waliulizwa, mbona hamlimi? Walisema ni mawe. Ni mawe. Mzungu alipata akaitoa, lakini wao wakiulizwa wanasema shida ni mawe. Na kila mtu ambaye ako hapa anajua ile mawe ambayo iko kwake shuleni. Why are you not performing in math? Ni huyo mwalimu. Why is this not happening? It is so and so. Why is this not so? It's so and so. And we have learned to blame people and exempt ourselves from accountability. So in personal branding, you have to brand yourself differently. And that is where we are now. Improve yourself, grow yourself, and become a very refined person. Leadership. And so we look at the first concept, which is leadership, and we say this. It is impossible to discuss the matter of personal branding without discussing your position as the headmaster, as the principal of that school. It's impossible. Because you cannot separate who you are from whatever you do. You cannot separate. There is no way you're going to separate the position you hold and the job you do. Because they are one and the same thing. Ni kama vile huwezi kuseparate utamu na sukari. Atuseme sukari ndio hii, utamu ndio hii. Kama si tamu si sukari. It is one thing. And that is what you are as a person. And why are you supposed to develop yourself when it comes to leadership? Because the leader is the dynamic, life-giving element. You as a principal, you are the dynamic, life-giving element. You are the dynamic, life-giving element in your school. And without your leadership, the resources of production remain as resources, but they never become production. And so that is a summary of what a headmaster is. That the headmaster or the principal is a dynamic, life-giving element in every school. And without the leadership of the principal or the headmaster, the resources remain as resources, but they never become production. And so, your performance as a principal, your performance as a principal of that school, as the leader of that school, is what determines the success of that school. Wewe kama headmaster, kuna mtu mwingine anaweza letwa kwa hiyo kazi yako ya headmaster, uone mambo yakibadilika, kama unaiangalia. Wakati nilikuwa shule mimi secondary, we had a headmaster ambaye alikuwa, sijui shida ilikuwa gani, siwezi kusema juu sikuwa kwa ofisi, lakini katika kwa ground tuliona wenyewe na macho. One, we were fighting for food. Tulikuwa tunapigania chakula every day, we ate through fighting. Yani kama mau every lunchtime there was scrabble for food, and like the scrabble for Africa. Lazima tungepigania for 3 years, from 1 to 3 we fought for food. Na tulikuwa tunakula mkate mara 3 kwa wiki, na mkate ilikuwa mkate moja watu 6. Unakula sentimita 1 ya mkate. Na tulikuwa tunaamka saa 9 on Tuesday, Thursday na Sunday kupanga laini ya mkate sababu haitoshi. Na lazima upange laini ndio ukiingia kitchen mbele ya wengine uchukue slice 5 utokee kwa dirisha. Ilikuwa shule, wewe ukiangalia unashangaa, are these human beings normal? But there was a principal in that school who observed it for 3 years. Aka observe for 3 years, observing. Our school was very cold. Baridi ilikuwa mingi sana kwetu shuleni. Na tukafika mahali tukakwama kuoga. Wewe huwezi oga pia wewe, unajua? Usijifanya ati unaweza oga. Hata wewe kuna baridi yenye unasema hujaua mtu. Si mtu umeua. Na sio matter of life and death. Na hivyo ndivyo tulifanya. Na mwalimu akiingia kwa class anasikia watoto wananuka fertilizer. Yani these children are smelly, but at open the windows please. Ugweni badilisha. Na kuoga ikakuwa hayogeki. Roho safi. Na kuna mtu alikuwa anaitwa headmaster kwa hiyo shule. Anaona duogi na kimuguzi. Najua mnataka mlikuwa mnataka afanye nini? Hata mimi sijui. And so it continued like that. Walimu wakaanza kumiss classes. I will tell you, my dear teachers, as you listen to me, I have my Form 1 report form here with me. Hii si wachi. Hii mimi nabebanga hii kama school ID. I'm a national. I have never left this thing. When my father gave my report forms to me, I laminated them, and the one I carry is Form 1 report form. Because as you can see here, I had gone to high school. Wale mlifanya KCPE kitambo. I got 578. And so I went to one of the best schools in the country, Njiri School. And in that school, I got 16% in history. That is a straight E from 1 first term. English in KCPE, I had 88%. The first exam I did in that school, 35 days after, I had 45. I had almost 90 in Kiswahili. Yes, almost 90 in Kiswahili. And the first exam, I'm here with a D- of that marks. What happened in 35 days? And I want you to, ningetaka muniulize aje, wakati ulipata hii na D- nilikuwa na D- 4, D-1 na hii. Mnafaa kuniuliza, uliitwa kwa ofisi? Niulizeni? Sikuitwa. Nataka niwaambie nyinyi mnaketi hapa after getting E and 5 Ds or 4 Ds and a D-, I was never summoned to the office. In computer studies, I am the last boy, number 27 out of 27. I have a D-, nikaandikiwa very poor. Unaniandikia very poor na mimi naona, I can already see why right. Mbona sinajua, do you think I don't know? Alafu wakaniandikia hapa ati this performance is not encouraging. Was I supposed to encourage them? Did I go to school to encourage the teachers myself or to be encouraged? Walimu nataka kuwauliza, ni mimi ninafaa ku-encourage walimu ama ni walimu wanafaa ku-encourage? Nani amesomea kazi yake? Ni mwalimu amesomea ualimu ama ni mtoto amesomea utoto? Nani amesomea?
Nani amesomea kazi yake? So who should encourage you? Ati wameniandikia ati your performance is not encouraging. Was I supposed to encourage them? They never called me. Na kulikuwa na kiongozi wa shule. Na wakati nilikuwa nimepata kizugu D, ilikuwa namba 23 out of 41. Meaning with my 45%, I have defeated 18 people. Meaning in a balance. Head zero. Na hatukuwa ilikuwa. Na ndivyo ninasema ya kwamba kiongozi mwenyewe, kama yeye kiongozi mwenyewe hatafanya kazi, huyo kiongozi atakuwa disadvantage. The leader can become the disadvantage in the organization or the advantage in the organization. Alafu tukaletewa principal mwingine nikiwa form 4. Huyo principal alipofika akaona tunapigania chakula kama Mau. Akatuita kwa kiwanja ya shule. Alikuwa mzee mkubwa. Akaketi katikati ya all the boys, akatuambia boys, give me your problems. Tukamwambia food na bawani. Akaandika. Tukamwambia mkate haipatikanaje kwa shule. Tukamwambia kila kitu, hata chai tunakunywa kwa fitina. Akaandika kila kitu, ulidhani ni kuandika peke yake. Huyo mtu nakwambia by the end of first term, hiyo shule alikuwa amelima more than 10 acres that were never cultivated from independence. Kutoka hiyo shule ijengwe, he never cultivated. Akalima more than 10 acres of vegetables. Chakula ikaongezeka tukiona my friend. Tukamwambia, principal tumekubali, usiongeze tena. The food was too much. I have written that man in my book, The Teacher Who Touches God. I have written a whole paragraph to my principal. Because he changed our lives. Akaongeza food. Akasema hivi, wazazi wakuje shule, wachange, tujenge bakery. Wazazi walikuja, wakachanga, bakery ikajengwa. Bakery ya mikate. Hatukuamini a bakery of bread can be in school. Wakati bakery inajengwa, we used to go there and look at it like, is it for real? Mkate ilikuwa every day, na mkate ilikuwa mkate moja, watu 4. One bread, 4 people. Every day. Unajua huyo mwanaume tulikuwa tunamwangalia tunashindwa ama huyu ndiye Yesu. Unajua mnaweza angalia mtu mshindi. Huyu mtu si Yesu. That is how we talk about our former principal. We talk about him like a man who changed our lives. It's called personal branding. He created a brand around himself. What do people say when you're out of the office? Unakuja kwa staff room unaongea, ukitoka wanasemaga nini? Hiyo ni personal branding. Brand is not what you tell people you are. Brand is what people tell people you are. Brand is not what you tell people you are. Brand is what people tell people you are. Ukitoka wanasema ukimuona hapa. Are you getting what I'm saying? Create a good brand around yourself by creating change in your school. And that is how brand became available. And then in second term, akatujengea hot water system. My friend, ulikuwa unachota maji na bucket, unaweka kidole mara 15, uamini ni moto. Yaani, ni sisi tunaoga. Na maji moto ndani ya shule, unaiguza tena. That is what he did. Clap for him, please. Can you clap for my principal? He created a brand around himself. Even today, we write about him in our books. Because he changed our lives. What is your brand? Wakati nilikuwa form 1, I did not fail in everything. In chemistry, I got 93. I got 93 in chemistry. After getting 93 in chemistry, niliandikiwa average. Niwaulizeni. Hamjapo wale mlio hapa. 93 ni average. Nataka munieleze. 93 ni average. Eh? 93 ni nini? Mara mnataka uangalie hii imeandikwa hapa ni nini? Mnaweza fikiria ni chocha. Hii imeandikwa nini? Chemistry. Huyo mwalimu ako na kichwa mzuri. Unaweza andikiaje? mtoto anaitadhiri average. Ukiandikia mtoto anaitadhiri average, sikusema mwenye ako na 50% ni missing marks. So, I am talking about teachers being demotivated. This is a sign of a demotivated teacher. Huyu mtu ana energy. Huyu ako uhai juu hajakufa. There are some people, the only reason they are alive is because they are not dead. And some of the teachers we have in our schools, they come because they have nowhere else to go. Anakuja sasa mtu ataenda wapi? Ukiona mwenye anakokota miguu akikuja shule, you can see kweli huyo mtu ana mahali ya kwenda. Now, leadership is very important because what shall you create? You shall create motivation in your school. Uta create motivation ndani ya shule yako. You shall create motivation in your school if you become a good leader, the dynamic. Tuliambiwa in the solar system, all the planets orbit around the sun in the solar system. Mercury, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, all of them, they go around the sun. And if the sun loses its energy and it dies, the planet will migrate to another star and orbit the other star. You as the headmaster, you as the director, all the factors, they rotate around you. Do you have energy to keep them rotating around you? Or also you have lost energy? Kuna wakati nilikuwa naendesha gari yangu, nikitoka pale Muthaiga, nikitoka Pangani nikienda Muthaiga. Nikiwa nimefuata probox ya navy blue. Ilikuwa imeandikwa kwa kioo ya nyuma, don't follow me, I'm also lost. What? Hebu angalia mwenzako. Look at your neighbor. That can be a case. Are we together, people? Yes. And don't follow me, I'm also lost. Walimu wale wako stafu wanakufuata na wewe mwenyewe ushapotea. I feel for that staff. I feel for those teachers. Can you improve yourself? Improve yourself. How do you improve yourself? How do you improve yourself? Number one, benchmarking. Please, to improve yourself, go and benchmark. Go and benchmark. Enda kwa shule zingine zinafanya vyema kuliko. Benchmark. Stop saying, but that school is a school of rich parents. That school has got bright children more than our children. Go and benchmark. Learn what they are doing or not doing. The other way you can be able to improve that is on networking. Network, please. You have a lot of speakers that are coming to speak to you in this conference. There are so many people that you know that can come and motivate your teachers or even not motivate. Examiners, watu wengine ma-professional, waende shuleni, wakuje msaidiane hii kazi. There are some guys, I have seen them training on sciences. I have seen them training on mathematics. Can you call them in your school? Network and reach out. Are you together, please? So that you can create a better brand for yourself. Very important. And then, number two, I look at mindset. I look at mindset. That was on leadership. I look at mindset. And the summary of the first one is this, that the principal, the headmaster, the leader of the school is the only effective advantage. The leader is the only effective advantage any school can have. The leader is the only effective advantage. You are the advantage in your school or the disadvantage. Look at your neighbor. Do they look like the advantage or the disadvantage? Anakaa nini? Wewe mwanga, nimesema angalia mwenzako. Do they look like the advantage or the disadvantage? Hebu muulize wewe ni advantage ama ni disadvantage? Very good. Hiyo swali, by the way, hiyo swali ni personal. It's a personal question. Na nataka niwaambie hivi walimu mnaonisikiza. After mwalimu wetu aliniandikia average for chemistry ya 93, I started dropping immediately. By the end of Form 1, I had scored an E in chemistry, and I did it in Form 2, yote I got an E in chemistry. And what happened? The teacher used to be just tired. Anakuja trouser hapa kwa kifua sijui bona. Then he comes with very many books na ask me. Alafu anasema, Fagiri, open the window. Yeye anasikia joto all the time, open the window. Alafu hakuna kitu yote yenye ni major atasema, then he goes away. I'll get a straight E. In Form 3, God is good. I came from 1N to 2N. Form 3, we get a 3B. When you go to 3B, we met another teacher called Mr. Muigai. God hears the prayers of his people. And from that day, my chemistry started improving immediately. I got a B+ in KCSE because of Mr. Muigai. The Bible says when Uzziah died, Isaiah saw the Lord. Kuna mwalimu anaweza kolewa watoto wa improve. Hata yeye angalia staff yako unamjua. Hebu angalia mwenzako, pengine ni yeye. It's so unfortunate. Ati pengine mtu amekuja kurepresent shule, yeye ndiye anafaa kutolewa. Inauma ndio, lakini mtazoea na mtafanya kitu. You can never create a personal brand without changing. The only way is to change. The only way to become what you have never become is by changing. The only way to get results you have never got is by doing what you have never done. The only way to get results you have never got is by doing what you have never done. You must become the person you have never been. You must become the person you have never been to do what you have never done. Why have you never done it? You have never done it because you have never become the person you should become. Become that person you should become. Mkiniangalia hivi, watu wawili wakiniangalia, kuna mtu atasema, Joe Mwangi is very smart. Na kuna mtu atasema, hey, akona kiatu mrefu. Niwaulize, yule mtu amesema niko smart, na yule amesema niko na kiatu mrefu, who is correct? Both are correct. Mwenye amesema kiatu ni mrefu, na nikitembea haitoki, ni mrefu kwa mguu yako ama kwa akili yake? Ni mrefu wapi? Niwaulizeni walimu, ni mimi ninafaa kupunguza kiatu inifinye, ama ni yeye anafaa kupanua akili ikoshe kiatu mrefu? Ambia mwenzako panua akili. That is the summary of mindset. Kama unaona shule yako ni ya kushindwa na shule zote, itaishi kushindwa. Kama unaona nyinyi hakuna mahali mtaenda, juu hamna basi, hamna nini, every day hatuna hii, ni nini mko nayo? Use what you have. Use what you have. Have a mindset that is a winning mindset. It's a part of your brand. Kuna watu wengine ni wa complain. Hata mkienda break mtasikia, na maisha imekuwa gumu siku hizi. The conversation ni ya maisha gumu. Ukisema maisha ni gumu, haikuwa rahisi, inaendelea kuwa gumu, only that umegundua. So please change your mindset. Have a winning mindset. Have a winning mindset. You must be strong in your mind. Na watu niseme hivi, how to have a good mindset. Number 1, avoid negative thoughts. Avoid negative thoughts. Don't be negative. Don't be negative. Be positive all the time, hata kama hakuna sababu. Mwaka wa mimi nimepigia Raila Odinga kura 2 times. Na msinilaumu juu ni personal choice. Mara 2. 2007 Raila alikuwa na watu wengi sana wanamfuata. Lakini kitu ilimkosea ni mindset. Sababu watu wengi wanamfuata, lakini akienda kuongea, Raila Odinga akiona kitu ni baya, anakujaga anasema ni baya. Akiona inaharibika, anasema inaharibika. Hajui kuchange mambo kupitia ulimi. Alisema mimi naona itaibiwa. Ikaibiwa. ama ikaenda, mimi sijui venye ilifanya. Mwaka wa 2012 alikuwa bado na watu wengi, alafu kwa kampeni anasema mimi naona ni kama serikali inapanga kuiba. Sijui kama ni kuibiwa, ikaenda. Aya 2017 bado watu walikuwa na baba. Mimi naona itaenda, ikaenda. Unajua saa 2022 baba akaona wacha ashikane na wale wanasemekana wanaiba. So akashikana na wao, akapatiwa watu wote, Matiang'i, Kebisho, everybody was backing Raila Odinga. Lakini bado wakiwa ndani anasema naona kuna watu wamekuja kupanga wizi ya uchaguzi. Lakini nataka muangalie nani alikuwa na chance ya kuiba uchaguzi vizuri kama ilikuwa ya kuibiwa. Sikiza nikuambie, Ruto akaenda Trans Nzoia, Kitale, akasimama juu ya gari yake juu, akauliza watu wa Kitale, mkiniangalia ninakaa kuibiwa kura? Hata akageuka nyuma kwa mabubu, niangalie. Usiku ulipofika, Kebisho alikuwa kwa TV ya Citizen, akasema amekuwa na maringo, kichwa yake imejaa maringo. Si maringo. Please, ukiona mambo zinaharibika kwa shule yako, usikimbie kusema kwa staff room ni kubaya. The Bible says, let the weak say I'm strong, let the poor say I'm rich. Do not confess a negative mentality anywhere. Say you're winning, even if there is no chance. Sisi wote tulijua Ruto cannot get it. He is the president. Hakuna siku aliambia watu wake inaenda ama hawaendi. Aliwaambia tunaingia State House. Hata mkiona kabisa haingii. Can you continue being positive even if there is no reason? Hata kama shule yako inapunguka population, don't go confessing. Ni kuisha tunaisha. Saa hii we are winding up. Hata umekuja ukisema this is one of my last conferences, we are winding up. See to it. Go back and plant yourself and declare we are winning, we are the best. Are we together? Wait till we are winding up. Don't wind up. Declare you are not winding up. Are we together, please? Hiyo ni mindset. My brother alikuwa amesimama kiti cha bunge. My brother alisimama MP. Na alikuwa ameniambia tukiwa form 2 ya kwamba atasimama MP. Aliposimama 2017 alipatiwa certificate na Martha Karua, na aliposimama my brother alianguka vibaya sana. Alikuwa number 6 out of 6. Watu wakaniuliza mbona brother wako ameanguka kiti? Nikawaambia juu alikuwa amesimama. Wewe unadhani mbona alianguka? Hakuna mtu anaweza anguka kama hajasimama. Are we together? Watu walikuwa wanasema Raila hawezi kuwa rais, Ruto hawezi kuwa, Wajakoya hawezi kuwa. Nikawaambia hao wote wanaweza kuwa. Mwenye hawezi kuwa ni wewe, usimami. Yule mtu anasimama ndiye ana nafasi ya kuwa. Brother wangu alikuwa na probability ya 1 out of 6 kukua MP. Wale hawakusimama walikuwa na 0 chance. Nendeni mjaribu. Yule anajaribu ana nafasi ya kufaulu. Are we in agreement? Change your plan, change your mindset. What motivates you? Ni nini kinakufanyaga uwe na motivation? Think about it. Reduce the stress in your life. Reduce the stress in your life if you want to have a positive mindset. Reduce the stress in your life. Punguza stress ndani ya maisha yako. One way of reducing stress in your life is appreciating what God has given you. If you appreciate that being a leader in that private school is a God's blessing, you begin to be happy. Like many of us are always unhappy about where we are, complaining all the time. And that is why you have no value for it. Please, value it, love it. Change that so that you can be positive. Appreciate it. Reduce your stress. God is the reason why things happen. I will tell you this. God is the reason why things happen. Tulikuwa tumeambiwa na daktari mwingine ati ukitaka kuishi miaka mingi unakimbia kilomita 2 every morning. And my friend mwingine he took it seriously. Na ni vizuri kukimbia, tuseme ni vibaya. Alikuwa anasoma KU, alikuwa anakimbia every morning, akagogwa na gari akakufa. So unaweza kimbia ukufe. Tukaambiwa ukunywe maji glasi 8 na unaweza kunywa maji upate pneumonia ikuue. So God is the reason you are alive. If you have never got that government job and you are doing that job, do it with the whole of your heart. You are changing children's lives. Are we in agreement? And that child, one day, their destiny shall become real because you are the teacher. You are the reason why they can succeed. See yourself differently. Reduce your stress. Appreciate the opportunity. Are we together? Appreciate the opportunity. When I look at life, niko hapa na lighter. Unaona hii lighter? Can you see this lighter? Angalia. Inawaka kama iwaki. Inawaka kama iwaki. Iko na sparks. Sparks zenye zinatoka hapa inafanya ikuwe moto. Inashika moto juu ya sparks. Na niko na mwenzake mwingine wa royal blue ama dash blue na pia anawaka. Unaona anawaka? Anawaka pia. Nisaidie na ile glass moja. Give me that empty glass. Just in a minute as I summarize, I show you something. Iko sawa? Mumeona iko sawa? Very good. I want to show you, tulikuwa tunauliza what motivates you. Kuna mtu alikuwa amesoma teaching na hapo anataka kusoma teaching. Ulikuwa umeapply kusoma course nyingine ukakataliwa. So ukaigiza maji mara ya kwanza. Hii ndio kuigiza baridi. Alafu kidogo ulikuwa umefikiria after doing teaching utakuwa employed by the government. Umeishi kuapply kazi nyingi hata kwa county. Hadi pastor anakuombea rejection. Father, we reject the spirit of rejection. Na wasikia. Ukachukua loan, ukisema hii loan nitakuja nifanye maendeleo nayo, nifungue biashara, nikuwe mdosi, biashara ikaisha. Things are happening in your life that are not the things you are looking for. Ukaenda ukapata familia pengine haikuenda venye unataka. Hii ni dunia, my friend. Ulikuwa umesema huyu mtu hawezi nifanyia hivi, akakufanyia. Maji ikakuingia. Hadi sasa hivi, my friend, unashidaga ukiomba muongeze mshahara. COVID hiyo badala ya mshahara iongezeke, COVID inakuja. Hata sio maji kidogo, inaongeza baridi times 50. Unaona hata sio mshahara itaongezwa, ni kazi itakwisha. My friend, there are so many things which happen in life to discourage you. And just like ukiangalia watu wengi ambao wanafunza kwa private schools, wameingiza baridi. Walikuwa wanawaka kitambo, sasa hawawaki. Angalia mwenzako tafadhali. Unajua mnaweza kuwa na mtu ameingiza maji. Unaona aje mwenzako? Unaona mwenzako unamuona hajagopoa ama ameingiza maji? Ameingiza maji. Na kuna watu wamekuja mkutano hivi. Na kuna watu wamekuja hivi. Uko hivi. Care for yourselves. Why do we do capacity building? Why do we call it to Kabarak? We call it to Kabarak because mwenye ako hivi akikutana na mwenye ako hivi anasaidia huyu kurudi hivi. Kwa sababu kuna watu walikuwa wamekuja mkutano hii ikiwa ya mwisho, tunataka kusema utakuja zingine. Hapo mwenzangu utakuja zingine. Brand yourself from today. And don't be demotivated by life challenges. They happen everywhere. It is everywhere. And encourage yourself. Are we together? And as I sit down, because I will actually sit down now, I want to say this. Mimi ni mwandishi wa vitabu. Mimi ninaongea. Lakini kuna kitu nimeona. Shule hizi zote zikisema ni kuinvite madam, it will be 50 years. Na watoto wenu wanataka very good lessons on self-esteem, decision making, goal setting, academic improvement, dealing with science subject, all those challenges you have. What I have done, I have started something called virtual training programs. Virtual training programs. Kwa sababu watoto wao wale wa shuleni wana shida na simu sana nyumbani, wakiwatch makomedi na nini. Meaning these children ni watu wanapenda kuwatch video. So mimi nimetengeneza materials zinaweza saidia watoto wenu mambo social, mambo academic. I have got more than 25 topics you can receive from me. So I'll give you my number. And when you get my number, write me a message and the name of your school. I'll go and send you a list of all the topics I have discussed and how you can access the material. We will send that material to you wherever your school is in this nation. Write that number. 0723 850 792. 0723 850 792. In the course of the day, niandikie jina yako, shule yako na iko kaunti gani. With those remarks, I want to wish you God's blessings. Until next time, go brand yourselves. Stay with the people ambao already wanawaka. Na wewe kutawaka. God bless you so much.